An SAS veteran has delivered a simple Brexit message urging Britons to unite with trade negotiations between the UK and the European Union struggling to make progress, as cracks appear to show between EU member states amid the fallout from the coronavirus pandemic. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has repeatedly refused to extend the Brexit transition period, which runs out at the end of this year, and discussions appeared to be on the brink of collapse on Friday after a lack of progress in negotiations. Despite calls from EU chiefs for an extension, and limitations caused by the global coronavirus pandemic, the UK remains committed to fully cutting ties with the bloc on December 31, regardless of whether a deal has been secured or not. Trade negotiations between Britain and the European Union have continued via video link, due to the virus, with both sides refusing to budge on key red lines. After the most recent discussions this week, the EU's chief negotiator Michel Barnier said an agreement was possible, but he was not optimistic and the bloc was ready for no deal. Meanwhile, UK chief negotiator David Frost hit out at Brussels' ideological approach as he warned there had been very little progress in the latest round of crunch talks. Former SAS trooper, Phil Campion, has delivered a simple message for the British public regarding the current Brexit situation, with discussions between the UK and the EU at an apparent impasse. He called on Britons to unite together even more so now, amid the coronavirus crisis. Mr. Campion also highlighted cracks appearing to show between member states which have failed to look after each other during the deadly COVID-19 pandemic which has swept across the continent killing thousands. Speaking to Express, Mr. Campion urged Britons to simply get behind the government, as they have been democratically elected to do the job they are doing. He said, once we are through this horrible period we can then bring things up to speed. Commenting on the current state of negotiations between the bloc and the UK, Mr. Campion admitted that everything has been put on ice. Mr. Campion, who runs his own YouTube channel, SAS Man Reviews, claimed that people have probably made decisions that they wouldn't have done and it hasn't panned out in a simple format the way it was going to. He said, whether you like it or lump it, the baton has been put down a bit because of what is happening. But, Mr. Campion claimed the coronavirus crisis has revealed cracks in the Brussels bloc, which has appeared to remain united since Britain voted to leave the club back in the historic 2016 EU referendum. Mr. Campion, who has been in lockdown in southern Spain since the start of the virus pandemic, said, I think some people will be looking at how they looked after each other, and think, that didn't go as well as was probably planned in Europe. There are a lot of eyes coming in on the UK, but then if we look out, Europe wasn't sewn as tight as we are led to believe.